Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Chandie Speaks podcast. It's your girl, Chandie. Just really getting used to this mic. Am I too loud? Am I too loud? Can you hear me? Welcome back. I don't, yeah, that was my hardcore intro. Let's see. Oh, good morning. Fuck. It's morning time, obviously. It's 8 o'clock in the morning here in beautiful Sedona, Arizona. I'm recording this live from my van, per usual, and my beautiful microphone. How do I sound? I'm getting better. I'm getting adjusted. Oh my goodness. I like it. I like this. I love this a lot. What's going on, everybody? Damn. These headphones are crazy. Hold on, I can't even. Like, I can literally hear everything with these headphones. It's crazy. What's up? It's Tuesday morning, right? It's Tuesday morning. I'm actually house sitting right now. I'm going to upload this tomorrow. What day is it? Today's Tuesday the 14th. So this will be for Wednesday, October 15th. Tomorrow morning. I'm getting better at recording these on time and having them uploaded on time. It's just for my own personal, it's just for me. No one asked me to do this. Shout out to Charlie Kirk. Today is Charlie Kirk's birthday, but by the time this goes up and will be uploaded, his birthday will have been yesterday. So happy belated birthday, Charlie Kirk. Presently giving him a future birthday shout out for the past. I'm actually house sitting right now, but I'm still recording it from my van. It felt kind of weird because, like, yeah, the people whose place I'm watching, they have like 2 dogs and a bird and big ass backyard. Everything's fine, but it felt kind of weird, like being in there recording this podcast, because it's like I feel like it's more of a, I don't know, it's like a personal thing, maybe. I think it just feels more authentic just recording it here from my van. Even though currently, like last night, I slept inside. I slept inside of a house last night, you guys. And the night before, I've been here for 2 days. I think they're coming back today. It's so like, it's kind of like a mini vacation for me and my dog. Like my dog's like chilling right now. She's in there playing with them. And I get like a flushing toilet. That's pretty cool. Running water. Yeah, because I do van life 24/7, 365. And the only time I'm like, whenever I go into someone's house, it's like I have to like be re-domesticated. Like I made I cooked something in a crock pot. At least that's what I think it's called. You see, like it's literally been a long time. I know I'm a cook. I should know what a crock pot looks like or what the difference between a crock pot is and a slow cooker, but I digress. And I was like, do I put water in this thing? And I had to like Google it and shit. It was funny. I did a little laundry. They have like washer machine. It's like a little mini vacation. I stayed at home. I stayed at their home all day and basically just did the things that normally for me in van life it would just take a lot more effort. Like, man, you know how awesome it was to just get up and go to the bathroom, and not have to like, oh, I've talked about my bathroom routine. Hey, it is what it is. I pee in a cup. And I fertilize the grass if there's grass around, or I fertilize the dirt. But usually when I do that, I have to make sure that there's no one around. And let's not even get started on number 2. On number 2, it's a whole different ball game. I have to actually physically go find a flushing toilet, or if I'm in the middle of the woods, I have to go out and yep, I pop a squat. Don't knock it till you try it. Ain't it feel, pooping outside actually, that's it feels good, all right? And I have to get rid of the evidence and stuff and have to make sure no one steps. And it's like, it's a whole thing. And you know how awesome it was for me to just wake up and then just go to the bathroom. Just go to the bathroom, And then like when I went to go take a shower, how awesome, like normally in van life, what I'd have to do is I'd have to I have to make sure the showers are open because I have a gym membership. For the most part, the gyms are 24 hours, except for the one out here in Cottonwood, my Planet Fitness. I think. I'm pretty sure. And I have to make sure the gym is open. I have to, make sure I have enough gas to get to the gym, drive to the gym. I have to, cover all my windows, make sure doggy proof the van, park in a shady spot. You have to go in there and like talk to people. Man, just the little things. I was so like, oh, I just go take a shower. I could just go take a fucking shower. It was great. And while I was taking a shower, I had a load in the fucking washer. And I had the slow cooker or crock pot cooking my food. I'm just grateful. So, yeah. It was a win-win for both of us. They got someone to watch their house and their dogs basically for free. Like, getting to be in a house is the payment for me. Okay? I got to use the stove, It was awesome. Just little things like that. Like redomesticating myself. Anyway, what did I want to talk about this week? I saw that. What happened this week? I think a lot of shit happened this week. I took notes. Oh, yeah, I remember last week I got into a long discussion, mostly about Charlie Kirk, who I am still grieving, by the way, and the state of our nation. And I remember I had like 2 points that I wanted to bring up that were not related to to that at all. So I was like, I'll just save it for next week. And oh my goodness, is this even worth bringing up? Why did I save this for next week? It's just basically me going on a tangent about not tipping. Which I've already gone on a tangent before about that on Van Life Diaries, and it's kind of like whatever, just something to fill in the space. I went to the bar like let's see, what day is it? Today's Tuesday. So I think the last time I went to the bar was last Thursday or Wednesday, almost a week ago. I haven't been back to this particular bar in a week because I saw that they had double charged me. And I don't know if that was an accident or if that's something that they just try and slip in there, or maybe it was like the bartender. I'm not going to say the name of the establishment, but like, yeah, the bartender was kind of a dick. And yeah, maybe I tipped him. I don't like tipping. Okay. Tipping is like, it's not my responsibility. I'm not an employer. It's not my job to tip you guys. I'm sorry. And no one, actually, I'm not sorry. Like, no one ever agrees with me on that. And they're like, well, how are these people supposed to support themselves? Because they don't get paid enough. Okay. And I understand that that's a problem. However, the root of the problem is what we need to address, which is their employers should be paying them more. And if their employers cannot afford to pay them more, then their employers can't afford to be in business. And if they have to raise up their prices just so they can be able to afford their labor, and they lose customers or people stop going out because it's too expensive, then people stop fucking going out because it's too expensive. Simple as that. So yeah, I tipped this fucking bartender, even though I basically I get shamed into it. People are like, what do you mean? What do you mean? The bartender is like, if I'm going to tip, like 99% of the time, it's going to be to a bartender. And that's really it. I hardly even like tipping them motherfuckers. Respectfully, like, you're just pouring a drink, bro. And I'm sure there's a bunch of bartenders out there who are going to be like, wait, man, it's more than that, man. Well, I come in, I don't even talk to you, bro. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call right now. I don't want to. I can't end. Hold on. Maybe I can pause it? Maybe I can pause this. Hold on. Okay, yeah, I had to pause that because that was the lady whose house I'm watching. They just told me they're going to stay another night out in Flagstaff. And so I get another night on my little mini vacation. Yay! I'm excited about that. Okay, the only thing is like, Okay, back to the tipping thing. What the fuck was I saying? Basically, they're not getting to the root of the problem. I shouldn't have to be responsible. Like, it shouldn't have to be like a big decision when I go out to eat, if I choose to go out to eat. And that's really why I choose not to go out to eat, because I don't want to have to also be helping support it shouldn't be my responsibility. It shouldn't be anyone's responsibility. When I was in the Cayman Islands, I went to the Cayman Islands for the winter solstice of 2023. Yeah, it was 2023. I was there for like 2 weeks in the Cayman Islands. The Cayman Islands is a very tiny, it's like 3 islands. I went to the Grand Cayman Island, the big one, and it was just like 22 miles long. They don't, I'm pretty sure, I have to double check this up, but I'm pretty sure they don't do taxes in the Cayman Islands. Let me actually double check that. The Cayman Islands have no direct taxes, such as personal income tax, corporate tax, or capital gains tax. Instead, the government raises revenue through a system of indirect taxes and various fees. Basically, they're like masking their taxes, which is what I would prefer. Like when I see something on the board, it says $2.99. I would like to just give you $2.99. I don't want to have to do math in my fucking head and account for extra taxes and now these hidden fees. Oh, and now I gotta tip a bitch? Respectfully. And in the Cayman Islands, I loved it out there because when you saw it said $2.99, you are going to pay $2.99. And that includes the product, the service, the tip. All of it is included. The gratuity, all of it's included within their price. And that's why I fucks with the Cayman Islands. And maybe we should do that. It's just better. Like, why should I have to be guilted into tipping? And now I got to be like a mathematician. Now I got to fucking come in. Like, bro, I just came for a fucking burger. Let me just get a burger. And just leave me alone, okay? I'm not asking for your service. I'm asking for food, okay? Me personally. A lot of people, sure, if you want to go out and you want to get people to, like, give you the song and dance and wow you, then cool. They're performative, like, while you're trying to eat entertainment, cool. By all means, do you, boo. I don't need all that. I just need the food. I just need the food. I don't need all this extra shit. And I shouldn't have to tip for shit that I didn't ask for or shit that I don't want. Or shit that's not my responsibility. I know, it's just like, I usually get into debates about that with people. And it is what it is. And at the end of the day, I'm still fucking tipping out here because I'm looked at as like, as that girl. When I don't tip, when I blatantly write $0 on the tip line, I know that I won't be coming back there again. Sorry. And that sucks. It sucks that I have to do that. Like, the amount of places that I'm like, you know what? This will be my last time here, and I'm going to leave no tip. Because I don't want you guys to remember me and be like, oh, this customer didn't help the employer pay the employee. So let's put some bad jujus in her food or spit in her food or shit like that. Nah, fuck all that. Really, if you work in the service industry and you're mad at customers for not tipping, like, seriously, get the fuck over yourself. You're mad at the wrong people. You're mad at the wrong people. Go talk to your boss. Better yet, up your skills and get a higher paying job. And I know people are like, hey, it's not that easy sometimes. Well, you can't be getting mad at customers. The amount of servers that I've worked with in my life who would come and tell me all the horror stories of like, oh, I was running all across the restaurant for them. I was getting them this and getting them that, basically doing their fucking job. You were doing your job and you're mad that the customer didn't acknowledge that you were doing your job by giving you extra money. It's not the customer's responsibility. Talk to your boss. Talk to your fucking boss. Okay. Like, hey, boss, I was running around for all these people and, like, I only get tipped like 40% of the fucking time. Do you think you can give me more money to compensate for the, you know? And actually, Waffle House does that. This is a shout out to Waffle House. Waffle House actually does that, where if you're a server and you serve over, let's say, 100 customers and you bring in so many amount of dollars and, the amount of hours that you brought in all those customers and you made less tips than what would equal out to like the minimum wage. Like if it's under minimum wage, then they will cover that. And that's why I fucks with Waffle House. Shout out to the Waffle House. They do tax your tips, but hey, we all gotta fucking pay taxes here in America, so get over that. If you don't like getting taxed on tips, then why don't you, go find a job that doesn't require you to make tips. I've never been down with that. I think that was a solid rant, right? Yeah, man, I'm staying another night here. It's pretty cool. Pop some popcorn, it was really nice. Really nice being in part of a domesticated little environment. Sheesh. What else is there this week? The cool thing about recording on my laptop is that I can actually go on social media and it won't interrupt my recording. And of course, you all know I'm addicted to TikTok. And I just made a post literally right before hitting record that is on its way to be blowing up right now. I'll get into that later, but I did make a post yesterday that a lot of people didn't like. Basically, what I've been doing is just trying to get more engagement on my page. So I've been replying to people's comments. I just learned how to do this, okay? I'm new to TikTok, very new to TikTok. I have like 30 followers. Go follow me on TikTok. But I just learned how to like reply to people with using a video. So I've been video replying to comments that may or may not be triggering to people. Really, I'm just, like I said, I'm just trying to get engagement. Trying to get people to talk and, maybe make their way to this channel here on Spotify or on YouTube. I got a couple new followers this week. What post? So yeah, I made a post about, I'm just replying to people's comments. One post was about my belief in women and men not being able to carry on platonic relationships. I don't think men and women can be friends. I don't really think they should be friends. And I've talked about that before, but yeah. Gets the pot stirring. I like going on here and stirring the pot. And the great thing about all this is like it's a really good, mostly the addicting part for me when it comes to TikTok is observing human behavior. Learning how people treat other people with views that, spark something inside of them in some way, trigger them in some way, inspire them in some way. People feel, I don't know. Social media seems like to be, at least for TikTok, for me, at least, it seems to be like a really big mirror and like observation tank. Like no one knows who the fuck I am. Like y'all don't even really know who I really am. You just know who I'm presenting to you on all these platforms. I could literally be a piece of shit. I mean, let's just say most of us sometimes could be a piece of shit, right? I don't know. Maybe I'm just projecting. But yeah, I just like observing the way people talk to people. I'm trying to think if there's any specific thing that stuck out to me. Yeah, I've talked about women like basically policing other women. I think I wrote a note on this. The biggest thing is women policing other women. It seems like, is it just me, or is TikTok like predominantly like middle-aged women and like teenage boys? Maybe that's just my feed. It's like all I'm seeing is like middle-aged women and like very young adult prepubescent young men. At least those are all the people who are like, yeah, I'm coming across on my thing. But yeah, most of the time when I make a post, if it's about men or women, if it's favoring the men or bashing the men, favoring the women or bashing the men, women are the first to comment and either jump on what you're saying or disagree with what you're saying and basically police what you're saying. Like one girl literally said that I agree with everything you said. It's just the phrasing. Okay, why the fuck do you think that I should actually care what the fuck you think about my phrasing? Do you hear yourself? People don't actually hear themselves. Like, you really expect people to go around and cater to your feelings. Why don't you just get your feelings under better management? Like, it's not my responsibility to make you feel nice and feel good. And women especially miss a lot of important messages because it's not phrased nicely. You know, you can literally sell a woman anything if you just package it up in sprinkles and rainbows. And so the patriarchy was born. Come on, like, women policing women all the time. It's like, I think it's a behavior that is taught to us actually from our mothers. A lot of women, when they experience bullying for the first time ever, it's from their own mom. I know. How's that dose of reality? Is it too early for this? So, maybe some self-reflection is needed right now. If you're a mother, or if you are a daughter of a mother, just try and look at how do you behave around other women? And how has your mother shaped the way that you behave around other women and how you respect women and treat women? They're all like, when I make a post about it, some bitches be catty as fuck. I'll make a post about women bullying women. No one bullies women like other women. And then all the women in the comments on that post are like, you know, slay queen, yes sis, I support women, I love women. They're all like, you know, I don't know, fucking circle jerking or trying to prove something to me. I don't, you know, that it's got nothing to do with me. I just say something, and if you feel like you have to come on here and prove something, cool. But whenever I say anything else that may not align with their beliefs or how women should behave, they put on their mommy bullying hat and they start bullying other women. Women can be mean. I mean, I got some thick skin, okay? Thanks, mother. Love you. But I got some thick skin. But women can be mean. And I believe that they learned a lot of it, learned it from the women in their lives. The number one woman in their lives. Am I just projecting? I mean, I try and be mindful of the way that I show up, especially around women. I understand that my energy can be a lot for women. But yeah, it's wild how people just come out here and just tell people how to live their own fucking life. Tell people how to think. Tell people what to believe. Tell people how to phrase what they believe. Get the fuck over yourself. Get the fuck over yourself. Some self-reflection is definitely in need, I believe. But, you know, nobody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. But I literally ignore these women, these men. I ignore comments. I don't have time to... I really don't have the energy, really. A lot of people aren't even worth the energy to respond. But like I said, I do... I'm grateful that I get to observe their behavior, even though I don't ever intend to talk to them or explain myself. I don't have to explain myself. It's just weird. Maybe I can think of a good story time for you guys. I put my shit out there. 'Cause yeah, I know I got some mommy issues of my own. And I remember in a couple episodes, actually, speaking about the work that I have been avoiding that is surrounding or having something to do with my relationships or my interactions with women in general, particularly NPC women. But yeah, because I feel like the women who are like vibing with me, who are like my character people, people who are in my spiritual like frequency. I don't really have I don't ever have beef with any of them. I know how to conduct myself, and they know how to conduct themselves. Balanced women, you can just tell. Um, at least for me, I can just tell if a woman is fully balanced, or is working on herself, or is mindful of herself and self aware. I rarely, if ever, have any problems with those people ever. We just kind of know. The only times I run into issues with women is when they're these NPCs, these women who are clearly unbalanced, clearly haven't worked on themselves, haven't been willing to do the work, haven't been willing to address the work that needs to be done. And then I'm having to sort of maneuver my way around them. And I know that a lot of it has to do with, yeah, like I've said before, the mommy issues. The fact that I was bullied, and now here I am, instead of trying to, help these women or I extend a level of compassion, but there's also, I'm kind of stern. I'm harder on women. I realize I hold women to a higher standard because I'm pretty sure it's because that I was held at a higher standard from my mom, and so on and so forth. And I just expect more from women. And when I see a woman going around literally shitting on her whole fucking life by, oh my God, just, I can list the ways that women just self-sabotage their whole life. And, it just stirs something in me. And instead of extending like that mommy energy or that loving energy, I sort of like distance myself and, I try and get far away from these people. So yeah, that's something that I can accept that I need to maybe work on. Like I said, I'm harder on women than I am on men. Like, I don't give a fuck about men, and relatively, we all love men, right? But I really gave a fuck about how the hell they advance their gender. Women, on the other hand, we got a lot of work to do, and we got to start first with talking to ourselves, and then maybe go back and talk to our mom. And if that's not possible, try and be that motherly figure, or that loving figure. I don't want to say mom figure, because then you get women who sort of attach themselves to you. I don't want to like be your mom. Okay, I don't want to have to walk you through life, but I do want to be able to say, hey, there's better, you can do better. This is how you can do better. I don't know what the balance between that is. Like, how can you help someone do better without like leading their life for them? You have to lead your own life. And that's not easy for people to do. It took a while for me to get to this point where I feel like, yeah, I am in control and fully leading my own life. And it inspires people, and I want to inspire people to lead their own lives. But you have women who are just uninspired and just uninterested in addressing them. And I just pray for them. Like I said, we need to do better as women. We need to stop bullying each other. We need to stop being so cruel to each other. I'm not trying to be a mother. I'm not trying to be your sister either. Let's keep that 100. Like, I'm not your sister. I'm not your mother. I'm a fellow woman. I'm like your peer. Like, in the most distant way, unattached way. I'm here for all women, but I got to be here for myself. And I want everyone to have that energy about them too. I want everyone to be for themselves. Like, really. Anyway, I don't really have a good story time for that or anything, but that was kind of me bearing my soul for a few minutes. Kind of. What else did I want to talk about? When I wrote a note here. When men like your stories and your posts on social media trying to get on your radar. Oh my God, there's this. I'm about to actually do a clean house. You know, I'm not gonna do a clean house. Never mind. This is why I know that like social media is like not really real. Um, and that whatever I put up there, it's really just for entertainment. And even if it's behind like a privacy, like if you have to request, like my Instagram page, my main Instagram page is private, but like I accept people, basically anyone who requests me. So the content that I post is not really for like my personal life. It's mostly for like a privatized public life. Like I'm basically still saying the same things on there that I'm saying on my other platforms. It's just I'm kind of keeping track of who's following me and who's not. But anyway, I got a lot of weirdos on my main page that I might actually clean house. They're not weirdos. They've been there since like for years. Just random dudes who've followed me from like my YouTube channel or maybe from Tinder back in the day or Facebook, and they don't say anything. They just lurk around. How fucking weird is that? They just lurk around. I'm not expecting any of them. Trust me. Like if I were actually physically or spiritually interested in any of these men, would have already been known already. But many of them have been like following me for years, and they don't say anything. They lurk around. They like every single post, everything, and it's like whatever. Like I don't know what they think liking a story or liking a post does to me, but I'm letting you know it does nothing. It does nothing. Even if a friend liked a story, it's just a like. Okay, so Instagram, we've talked about this before on this channel, how it's basically instant gratifications. Once I get that pop that somebody saw the story, then I've already gotten the instant gratification. It doesn't matter who it actually is. That's why we post in our stories, so we can get that instant gratification. Really, if anyone saw the story, I'm happy. It doesn't matter who the hell it is. But yeah, we got these weirdos. I'm literally gonna clean up my it's a private Instagram. I'm gonna clean it up just a little bit, just for the guys who are just fucking weird. Don't be a weirdo. I think it's just weird how they just do it. Like it's almost like a social media love bombing almost, where they'll just like literally they'll go back to posts from like months ago and like all your fucking posts that you forgot about. And I don't know what they think that's doing. Do you think it's like the same as like actual effort and like, I don't know, getting to know the person? Or maybe, here's a thought, maybe men think that women are just so self-absorbed and so self-centered that as long as she's talking about herself and someone's acknowledging that she's talking about herself, then she's happy. And I can see that, actually. Like I said, as long as someone watches the story, I don't care. I'm happy. But, if I make a post and no one liked the post, I'm not going to, like, get mad. I'm not going to, like, delete it or yeah, I don't care. No one could like it or everyone can like it. But I do notice that that tends to happen with women. I'm going to keep it on the I concept. On me personally, I've definitely recognized the patterns in the past. And, from time to time here in the present, when I'll say something that I believe is like fucking deep shit or profound, and it's either not taken the right way or it's not received at all, and I'll feel some type of way. So, but yeah, it's just social media, you guys. It's not real life. It's not real life. And if you're a guy and you're just like lurking in a woman's Instagram stories or her TikTok or whatever, if you're just lurking around, maybe, I don't know. I don't really want to give advice to men. I don't have any advice for you. Just it's kind of cringe for me personally. So Okay. Fucking tired already. I'm gonna try and get through this in 20 minutes. This podcast is kind of all over the place. I don't know where I'm going right now. There was something that I did last week, but I'm not remembering. I just remember I made a note about, the note says, when people project their fears onto me. And I'm vaguely remembering what I was talking about, because I know it happens a lot. I'm trying to think of a specific incident this past week that made me write that. I don't even remember what made me write that. I'm really drawing a blank on what the hell I meant by that. I gotta start taking better notes. I'm pretty sure it was something like along the lines, maybe if I start rambling, it'll come to me. I was wanting to do something, and a friend of mine was telling me to be careful because people, I think this was like a few weeks ago. I actually don't remember. I'm remembering a story of when this particular friend has projected their own fears onto me before, but I don't think that's a good enough example. But maybe another example will come to me. I was going out to drink one night. I was going out to a bar one night with a friend, and I told my female friend, my other friend, about it, and she told me to be careful, which is weird. I'm telling you that I'm going out with a friend. I'm not telling you that I'm going on a blind date. I'm going out with someone who I've met and hung out with before, at a bar even, and she's telling me to be careful. She doesn't know that person, so cool. And I get it. She's just trying to look out. But then she proceeds, she goes on to say, well, you know, you never know, even if they're your friends, you never know. They could date rape you. They can put something in your drink. You make sure you watch your drink, and you know, and I'm just like, chill out. Okay, first of all, you can't. Oh God, am I gonna get? Am I gonna say that? I was gonna say you can't rape the willing, but that's basically implying that I would be willing, but I'm not willing anyway. Yeah, I just think it's funny how, like, maybe she has experienced something like that, and maybe that is something that she has been exposed to multiple times in her life. But I don't live in fear, so I'll never go into a situation planning for the worst. You know, I'm always hoping for the best, planning for the best, hoping for the best, like the best possible outcome. I am aligned with the best possible outcome, and hoping for the best. It's like, you know, when I get there and discover that I'm just a little bit out of alignment with the best, I know that I will have the mindset and the capability of redirecting my energy or redirecting myself to get myself to aligning with the best possible outcome. That's literally how I live. I mean, so yeah, I don't really relate when people say things that are basically fearful. They live in fear, and they project, and I can't relate. I literally can't even understand why people choose to live that way, you know, but it is what it is. So a lot of people, I don't know, not a lot of people. I'm just going to say this particular friend has lived a sheltered life. In recent years, she does not leave her home. She does not work. She does not have any kind of interaction with the outside world outside of her immediate family and her immediate neighbors. So, you know, it's kind of understandable why she felt that, you know, to warn me about something like that. But no, I don't live in fear. And I know that wasn't the issue, but I know that's one of them that I've had with this particular woman, a friend. Let's call her a business friend, okay? Because we're hardly friends. But yeah, bless her heart, you know, lives in fear, projects, and, you know, my energy just doesn't blend well with those kind of people. And it goes back to that, mommy issues thing. Like, I don't want to bully her. I don't want to, like, try and tell her what to fucking do. But I have been, and I will continue to point out when she is projecting or when she is, living in fear. Hobo rule number 4. Okay, I do remember this. This is one of the points I wrote a couple weeks ago. This is actually a couple weeks ago. I was sitting somewhere. I was sitting at a bar. Sitting at work. I work at a bar. Unfortunately. Not really unfortunately. It's a chill job, but I come in contact with a lot of drunk people and a lot of people who willingly just, poison themselves on a daily basis, and including myself. I get free drinks at work, so it's kind of hard to turn them down. But I digress. I was listening to these people just have a long conversation, like extended conversation. They were doing like a podcast on the patio of this bar about how much they love their beds. And they were talking about like their sleep number or their Tempur-Pedics or their pillows and how they adjust this and that. And it was like an extended conversation. I had a beer and I had like my whole beer listening to them talk about beds. That's it. And how grateful they are for beds. And I'm grateful for beds too. But y'all understand, the last time I slept in a fucking bed, like, okay, let's be real. It was in Colorado, probably a few months ago, in Denver somewhere. June. It was like June. Last time I slept in a bed was June. I slept on the couch last night, night before, and right now I sleep on a cot. I sleep on the cot. And while they were talking, it reminded me of my hobo rule. I made a list of hobo rules that I've actually talked about, probably in episode 3 or 4 earlier episodes, of all the things that I've learned while being homeless. And it reminded me of hobo rule number 4, which was, hobo rule number 4 is, don't wear shoes around someone who is barefoot. Which I guess, saying it out loud now, it's kind of similar, but not really. Because that hobo rule was talking about people who are, who have less than you, and if they see that you have more than you, then they try and take it from you, right? But that is actually a fear mentality. So I guess now a better way to sort of word that rule about don't wear shoes around people, or a better meaning would be like, man, this kind of stumped me. I'm trying to think. Yeah, it just felt kind of weird listening to people talk about things that they had that I did not have. And I don't think it should be their responsibility to cater to how I feel about something that they have that I don't have. So, yeah, I guess I'm going to have to go back and change that whole hobo rule number 4. Because, yeah, on one side it's like, well, don't talk about things because people might take it from you. And then the other side is like, well, don't talk about things because people might feel bad. And it's like, bro, if you want to talk about what you're happy about in life, then fucking talk about it. And if someone feels bad because they don't have it, then that's literally a them problem. So, yeah, it's a me problem. I would love to have a better bed. I would love to. I would love to have a little bit of cushion. I might get like a pillow, or like I've tried to make it comfortable, and it's just mid. It's just mid comfortable. And anytime I like sit on a cushion or a couch, I'm like in heaven. I'm in heaven. Don't even bring me around a bed. I'll probably never leave. So yeah, it's a me problem. I was just kind of low key in my head, just hating on them. Like, how dare they talk about their bed and their homes when I'm sleeping in a van by choice on this cot. Oh, yeah. I be full of shit sometimes. Sometimes I be full of shit. Hey, what are we going to do? Yeah. I had to hit the old Benjamin there. All right, I'm about to be on here for like another 5 minutes, y'all, because I am kind of done. I don't know if we talked about anything this week, or if it's just me venting about this week. talk about that time when you were rollerblading down the street in Chicago and a car hit you. Oh my God. Yeah, that's kind of a funny story, I guess. Like I said, this podcast doesn't really have this episode doesn't really have a theme. I'm just kind of just talking about random shit. But something, I guess, inspired me to jot that down as a note to talk about this week. And I'm trying to remember what the hell it was. Oh yeah, I remember what it was. What had inspired me to want to tell that story about getting hit by a car is actually not a good story. So I'm gonna start with the fun, the good story, the fun part. It's not really fun because I got hit by a car, but it's a lot more fun than what inspired me to jot that down. So I was in Chicago. I was living in my van in Chicago. Scratch that. I went to Chicago, and my sister was there at the time with my nieces, and I was staying at her place in Chicago while I had my van parked out front of her house. And I was there basically the whole summer of 2022. I was there the entire summer of 2022. It was right before I went to Jamaica. And I found a job there. I was working at this pizza restaurant that was like maybe like a 10-minute drive, right? So it was like maybe 15 minutes to skate there, 20 minutes to skate there. So I saved a lot of gas. I'm not really a big city person, but that's one thing that I was really grateful for living in the city that particular summer, was that I had a place where I could park my van the whole fucking summer. I just had to move it across the street for like street cleaning every other day or something, and didn't have to drive anywhere because everything was so congested and so close together. And I skated everywhere all summer long, and I was rollerblading to work every day all summer. That job actually funded my Jamaica trip, and not having to spend money on gas and daycare for my dog. She watched my dog for me. Shout out to my sister. Shout out to my brother-in-law. But so I was coming back from work. I was skating back, and I used to get off work at like 9 o'clock at night. It was like 10 o'clock at night, something like that. And I was skating back somewhere in Chicago. I forgot where. North Side. I forgot what the fuck I was on, bro. Like, I just remember, like, I was coming up to this, God damn. I was coming up to this, intersection, and I believe, oh my God, like, now my memory's, like, escaping me. I'm pretty sure I had the right of way. Because that's why I got upset. It was my turn to go, and I was on skates, and they were coming up, and they were about to make a right. You know, I was trying to walk across the intersection and then make a right, and they were trying to make a right, and I don't know what it is, but they cut me off. I'm pretty sure they cut me off while I was trying to cross the fucking street, and it was my right of way, and I remember I chased, now I'm remembering, I like hauled ass and like on my skates, and I'm trying to chase down this car because they're turning right, so they're kind of going slow, but there's a light right when they turn too. And I remember we were crossing a bridge. I remember, and that stoplight was there. So as they were like, I was chasing up to them, and I remember I banged really hard on their driver's side window. It was, man, looking back, it was kind of reckless. Bro, that wasn't even that long ago. That was like 2 years ago. But I was in Chicago, so like, I'm a different animal. I had to be. Oh my God, looking back, how reckless was I? I deserved it. It's funny that I get to laugh about it now. I'm pretty sure I laughed about it then too. Oh my God. This is hilarious. I'm sorry. It's hilarious to me. It may not be funny to you, but who the fuck did I think I was? Okay, I had to be a different animal in Chicago. So I don't know what drove me to like chase down a car and bang on the driver's side window like I had any kind of authority or like that was my property or anything. And then I continued to keep skating, right? I kept skating and I had my headphones on. I thought I was cool as shit because I just banged on their window. I just skated off real bad. And then we were coming up to that first red light right after he made that right turn. We were coming up to that first red light. It's like a half a block in. And I had to stop too because I'm going down this way. So I'm like at the, in the bike lane or something like that. I'm like in the bike lane at the light or I'm turning or I'm getting into the bike lane. This car literally fucking tapped my ass. It could have been a whole lot fucking worse, but he drove up ever so slightly and tapped me, and I was on skates, and so I fell. I like slipped up, my feet slipped up in the air, and I fell hard on my fucking ass. And I know how to do like a little tuck and roll. I know how to fall. I'm good at falling. I've fallen before, so I like my feet were in the air, and I was like falling, and I like sort of rolled over to my left because like. Now the light's green and now oncoming traffic is about to come. And I remember there was this big ass like SUV that saw that car hit me and I like slipped and fell. And I had to like get myself up because cars are coming. The cars are coming and like the cars like stopped and was like, dude. And that other car that hit me just drove off. It was retrospect hilarious. At that time, I was like, yeah, I deserve that. I'm going to actually talk to my sister about that. Because I remember when it happened. No, I think I told my bro about that. I remember when it happened, I skated home with a sore fucking ass, and I was pissed off. I was like, I can't believe I got hit by a fucking car. But I deserved it. You shouldn't bang on people's cars. You're not the fucking cops. You don't have, even if you're not the fucking cops shouldn't be touching my fucking car either. Real talk. If it's not your property, you shouldn't be touching it. And, I deserve that. Man, my ass was hurting. I remember I was even more reckless. I'm going to go into a little tangent about this. I was even more reckless back in my little heydays when I was living on Skid Row in Los Angeles, California. I used to rollerblade there too, everywhere. Big cities, so everything's congested. Plus, I didn't have a car or van, so all I had was my German Shepherd. And I remember I would be on my rollerblades, and I'd have my German Shepherd, 100-pound dog, God bless, rest her soul, pulling me up the hill or pulling me down the street when I would be skating, and people got the fuck out the way. It was just so badass, I remember I would skate everywhere there, and there was a lot of there was a big homeless community back then, a big homeless population out there. So that a lot of those people were afraid of German Shepherd dogs. Let's just be real. A lot of those people who were homeless also may have most definitely had drug abuse problems and issues with the police and maybe German Shepherds and dangerous situations like that. No shade, bless their hearts. So most people, left me the fuck alone whenever they'd see me coming full speed rollerblading down the street with a German Shepherd. But I remember a couple times it would be my right of way, right? It'd be my right of way. I'd be by myself. My dog would not be with me. I would never do this with my dog. But I remember many times in Los Angeles while I was by myself rollerblading down the street, like I was going to the store or wherever, people would just they'd come up to a stop sign, and it'd be my right of way because they are supposed to stop, and there's a crosswalk there, a lot of crosswalks, and they would tip their car over the crosswalk line, and I would bang on their hood. Literally, I made a game out of it. I would like count how many hoods I could bang on if they didn't respect the crosswalk. How fucking ratchet. Like, oh my God, I was a fucking hot mess. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh my God. Yeah, I used to like skate with my headphones on And then when people just put half their car in the crosswalk, or if they just skip the crosswalk entirely, let's be real. They should be respecting the crosswalk, okay? But I do not have the right to bang on their hood, okay? A lot of people skip the crosswalk altogether, and I've actually almost gotten hit by cars whose cars I did not bang on, you know? I would just like yell at them like, hey, you almost fucking hit me because you're looking to the left and you're turning to the right, and there's a stop sign here and you completely missed it. And I'm skating here. You didn't even look, you know. And I started out with me like raising my hands like, what the fuck, you know, and yelling at people. But then I got real bold and I started banging on people's fucking hoods. Can you imagine? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah, I do not do that anymore. I wish somebody fucking would. Y'all remember, if y'all go back to the last episode that of the Van Life Diaries on my YouTube channel, Chandie Speaks. It's the last episode before I went to Guyana this year. I was sleeping in my van. Go watch that episode, and it was like the audacity, something about the audacity of some people. But literally, someone banged on my car. They assaulted my property. I was so mad, and I was heated, and I made like a long ass like 20-minute fucking YouTube video about it. Can you imagine? Oh my god. I'm a hot mess. I got so mad at him. I went and bitched about it on an episode of Van Life Diaries for like 30 minutes, bro. And then here I am, like, I'm, you know, recalling when I used to do that to people and thought it was justified. Oh my goodness. I'm really done with this podcast. I think that was a good story. What inspired that was not a good story. So it was basically someone said that a coworker said that their roommate got trampled by a car. And I don't know if they were on their feet. They must be, because you don't get trampled while you're in a car. They call that a car accident. If you get trampled, I would assume that means that you're not in a vehicle. Like you're either on your feet or on a skateboard or bike or something. And I don't know why. Maybe I have just like a dark sense of humor, but I don't know why that reminded me of when I got hit by a car. And almost got hit. Of all the times I've almost got hit by cars in my life. A lot of it, yeah, was just me being reckless out here. So I'm not saying that. I mean, the guy's okay. He was in the emergency room and stuff. The guy's okay, but I'm just saying, like, really, people should be paying attention if you're a pedestrian or if you're a driver. Always, okay. Let's just say that. I think that's it. I think that's all I really want to talk about. I'm just past an hour, you guys. Yay. I'm going to go back in here. I've already been away from these dogs for almost an hour now. So anyway, thank you all for listening. I got 2 new subscribers on YouTube. What? Go follow me on YouTube. It's Chandie Speaks, CHANDIE Speaks on YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, Threads. I'm everywhere. Thanks for listening. Yeah, thanks for laughing with me and listening to all my ratchet heyday stories. I'll see you guys next week.